Well, welcome back everyone to another episode of Hope Harbor Zoo. Hope you all are having a wonderful day so far. My name is Leaf, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. This is our ZSU series. Well, it's kind of like our old one, but it's a little bit of a new one. Long story short, we kind of lost a file to the older one, and I kind of want to start it anew. In case if you guys don't already know, ZSU is a little bit of a player-run franchise mode, that's to put it simply. Essentially, everything takes place within ZSU, which is also known as Zoo Sims United, and you're essentially able to sign up with whatever animals that you want. You buy animals, you can trade animals, you can get animals through events, and it's just really awesome if you like realistic zoo simulations. I know a lot of the people tend to have some issues with Planet Zoo's franchise and challenge mode because it really isn't realistic in the slightest. You shouldn't even be able to get like an elephant right off the bat. But hey, that's neither here nor there. In case if you guys do want to try this out for yourselves, the link is in the description down below, and by this time I think we should actually be moving on to ZSU International. I still don't know all the details on that. We'll kind of talk about that when we do get closer to that mark. But for the time being, I hope you guys are more than excited to join this little project and kind of build your own zoo. Speaking of that, we're building our own right now. One of the things I've loved to build for are wallabies and marsupials, and of course I had to bring these guys into Hope Harbor. They are going to be the star headline, I guess, of the Island of Color exhibition area, however you want to say it. So essentially, right when you walk into this area, you will be kind of guided, or kind of coerced, I guess, into this little bit of a colorful area. This is very much based off of my local zoo, Roger Williams Park Zoo. We have a small little wallaby habitat in there, and I really kind of just wanted to take the vibes from that one and kind of make it my own and kind of have a lot of fun with it. One of the things to keep in mind, I am hoping to get a lot more wallaby species when we actually do get that stuff kind of kicked up. So once we actually do start to hear more word on that, and I'm able to trade with even more Oceania zoos, I should be able to get some more for our little collection over here. But for the time being, we just have swamp wallabies, which are a beautiful little kind of macropod from Australia. They're really cool. They have like this kind of yellowish belly, and they kind of reside not within swamps, despite their actual name kind of making you think that, but kind of just relatively forested areas and stuff like that. And we also have the Bennett's wallaby, otherwise known as the red-necked wallaby. I honestly forget what kind I have. They're both subspecies. One kind of lives in Australia and the other lives in Tasmania. But either way, I don't know. I'm just really happy to have these guys in here. So what I'm doing over here is essentially just working on the small details that, I don't know, I really want to have a lot of fun with it. So one of the things you guys may remember from the screenshots, if you do keep up with this, is the beautiful rainbow fence. And I really wanted to make that because, I don't know, we have this whole islands of color section, and we got to bring some color in, you know? So that's exactly what we do with the fence, and you can see that come into play relatively soon. One of the things I did want to do quickly, though, was make sure that we don't have any Z fighting in there. And I also change out the color, and then we start to go through and add the entire rainbow. I don't know why I did this, but I think it looks absolutely amazing in the end. It really is such a huge change of pace from like the rest of my builds that it was super fun to build for. I don't know, it was just super like out of the box, and like, I don't know, it just gives this area such a nice feel. So I'm really hoping to do that throughout the rest of the area as well, once we actually do start to get more species for this area. Currently I kind of, you know, more or less finished it. I still have some lemurs to build for. Hopefully those can be relatively soon. Maybe next week should be the lemur speed builds for all you guys. I can try and work on it tonight, but nevertheless, working on this over here. I wanted this beautiful little rainbow up here because keep in mind it is the Island of Color, so I did want to have like this nice building kind of standing as a centerpiece over here just to really help accentuate the fact that this is the most colorful area on the entire complex. And I don't know, I just really do love it because of that. It was super fun to really build for. Now moving on through the rest of here and trying to make this trim look a lot better. One of the things I do need to do in hopefully like a cleanup episode relatively soon, is kind of going through and adding what gutters. Yes, okay, wow, I absolutely blanked out on that. No, I really do need to add gutters throughout this entire zoo because I've kind of been slacking on it. In fact, most of the roofs I've been building have been kind of like, boring. In fact, they're not filled with detail whatsoever. I do gotta learn from Zuv, who is an incredible builder. By the way, he's currently in Foxborough, so we're all very excited to see what he has in store for us. But we're very excited to see that because I love his roof style. It's so clean. It just looks like, that normal corrugated metal, but he does such a good job at making it look super clean. I really got to kind of learn his style in that case, so I can do that later down the line. One of the other things I got to do over here is actually add a little bit of keeper access, because keep in mind these will be living, breathing animals. They will require keeper care. And also, in addition to that, I love that kind of thatch roof that I chose for this. It looks so cute. It feels so tropical. I really do like it. But keep in mind, one of the things that we will be using a lot throughout here are mods, and especially modded animals. And that even goes for stuff that we don't have mods for yet, but stuff that I am hoping to make mods for. So like the southern poodoo is one. That's an animal that I'm very much dwelling on actually creating, but I will eventually. So that's one of them. I'm trying to think of other stuff that I actually have. A lot of waterfowl. Definitely a lot of waterfowl. Once I actually do help like Rihanna, Jen, and Bongo kind of update their stuff, I can start to move on to like the kind of non-discriminate waterfowl that I do own in ZSU, just so we could have a little bit more living, breathing animals in there. One of the other things I'm doing right now is working on the foliage, just trying to keep this area feel nice and bright. I kind of do like the foliage in here. It kind of has its own kind of distinct vibe from the rest of the zoo, which I think works extremely well. Because, I don't know, I feel like having different plant palettes, while they may not be an entirely different climate, having different plant palettes for certain areas really does work out pretty well. And I love the big tree in the middle of it. And this is also a Just Goron technique, so I do want to thank him for this, like, teaching me this one night. Apparently, we can do really easy tree guards. All you really got to do is kind of like, yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. I'm trying to convince him to actually make a video on it. But essentially what you got to do is use the glass curves, kind of convert them into the mesh, use the null post technique to kind of get rid of them, and then you have relatively easy tree guards. That's kind of my basic understanding of it. Maybe sometime when I do end up doing a live stream, I could show you guys how to do it, or I could, yell at Goron and tell him to make the video, because I've kind of been putting off doing a video with him as well. Excuse me while I reach down over here. Kind of dropped a little something. But yeah, moving on throughout here, and adding the rest of the foliage. Wow, that was totally professional of me to do. Adding the rest of the foliage throughout here just to help it feel a little bit more bright. I was also adding some kind of leaf litter in here as well. I really got to start doing this throughout the rest of the zoo because it really does help to sell, like, a realism vibe, especially in Maine where you do have deciduous trees. I definitely do want to start to include a lot more kind of fallen dead leaves, just because it really does help to make it feel a little bit more organic. And helps it feel a lot more realistic when all is said and done. Also, adding some smaller plants as well, that's something I really want to make sure I did throughout here. It's just making sure that I do add those small little cracks and crevices filled with weeds and stuff like that all throughout there. And I also do another tree. I kind of forgot about this one right here. But no, I just really want to give these wallabies a little bit of shade. I know they do tend to prefer, like, lounging out in the sun for the most part. But sometimes they do like to just hide under the shade, kind of rest a little bit. I remember the last time I went to Roger Williams, I think this weekend, yeah. I stopped by the Wallabies, and they're kind of like all splooshed, I guess you could kind of say, splattered, not splattered, that would be kind of gruesome. Kind of, whatever, lying down flat, that's the word I'm kind of trying to go for on the ground, and it was the cutest thing ever. But they were like in the shade, so I was like, all right, you know what, I gotta give mine a lot of shade in ZSU, and that's something that's really awesome. Oh my gosh, my stomach just tried to attack me. That's something that I've really been trying to do a lot in ZSU as well, is trying to go to zoos and understand how they work and understand like the smaller, finer details when it comes to like all that jazz, because I don't know, I really do want to integrate a lot more of that stuff in there. I think it works exceptionally well. So making my way throughout here and just adding the finishing details, adding all of the small foliage and whatnot, just making sure that this area feels nice and lush. I also do a lot of work with the kind of curbing. I'm not sure if I actually include it or not, but we'll see when we actually do get there. I also do love combining NDP's faux rocks with, you know, the base game faux rocks. It has such a beautiful effect on the end that it just feels so nice, so clean. It just is really exceptional when all is said and done. I just realized my Mac was playing music this entire audio recording, so I hope you guys are okay with double back music if you guys don't hear it. I don't think my mic actually picks it up. I am just a whole barrel of monkeys today. Oh my gosh. So, making my way throughout here, doing the custom curbing as well. I really wanted to have something nice and bright, so I kind of opt for a little bit more of a redder color. I felt like that would be nice and bright enough to really bring in, I don't know, some different vibes throughout this area, because we were working with the brick on the mainland. I say mainland like that's still not an island. I can't get off of these islands, guys. Please help me. Please send help. But either way, I really wanted to have this be a lot different from the rest of the island, just because it is such a different vibe over here, just because we do have such different species. I really did just want to, I don't know, kind of do something like that, and I think it works pretty well. Well, I'm sorry, I'm very tired. But yeah, adding some custom curbing throughout here. I'm not sure how much I actually show off, because I know how tedious it can be. It's kind of just me placing the same piece, kind of rotating it a little bit. How entertaining can that be, guys? Listen, I may have, like, you know, I may have kissed the Blarney Stone, but listen, I don't really have that enough gift of gab to actually keep you guys entertained through placing a bunch of curving. But still, I'll try my damnedest. But I really do love that fence. All said and done, it really is super fun how I was able to achieve that, really. And yeah, I think it'll set like a nice standard for the area as we start to get more species. My main goal for this island, short-term goal, I know, quite kind of weird to say that, is a tiger. I really do want to get a nice, possibly Sumatran tiger. I'll settle for Malayan tiger, but no, I really just need one for Island of Color, just as, like, you know, a nice centerpiece animal, because jaguars can only carry us so far. We need to get a lot more big cats. But hey, oh my gosh, we're done with this video. Hard to believe that, right? So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. You guys are just being most supportive people out there. It really is awesome just to see how much love that Hope Harbor and Hope Island in the past have gotten, and it's just really incredible that you guys still love to watch these just as much as I love to make them. So all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. In case if you guys are new here, I highly do suggest subscribing. We are like just on the crack of 8,000, and we're on the verge of 10,000, so that'll be a really awesome goal to hit when we actually do get there. Gotta start talking with you guys about what we should do when that time does come, but for the time being, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Be sure to check out any other video on my channel, by the way. Lots of fun stuff, always changing it up. But thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Take care and have the most wonderful of wonderful days. Bye bye now.